Hello, and welcome to Uncensored Conservatism. This is episode 326. We're going to go around the United States in, I don't know how many minutes. But anyway, here we go. A magnitude 8.8 earthquake off the coast of Russia recently resulted in a tsunami warning for Alaska. However, thankfully, the tsunami never materialized. This was one of the strongest earthquakes ever recorded, so Alaska, you dodged the wave this time. Hawaii was also under a tsunami watch, but, well, they have bigger things to worry about. In California, UCLA has reached a $6 million settlement with 2 Jewish students and 1 Jewish professor after pro-terrorist protesters blocked their access to class and other places on campus. UCLA argued that the protesters, not they, were responsible for the transgression. It happened on your property and you did nothing. A wildfire along the northern rim of the Grand Canyon is raging out of control and only 26% contained. Unusually dry conditions and high gusty winds are making it difficult for firefighters dealing with the blaze. The fire was ignited by lightning in early July. President Trump has declared New Mexico a natural disaster area after deadly flash flooding occurred there. The area continues to experience afternoon thunderstorms that are washing down barren mountain sides. In Utah, season 6 of The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch is getting really good. Tuesday nights, 8 p.m., History Channel. I swear this show will suck you in. It has rockets, drones, drilling, and even some dire wolves. Colorado dentist James Craig went on trial for the murder of his wife. She was hospitalized with an unknown illness when he allegedly poisoned her with cyanide in a needle in the hospital. The alleged motive was to avoid a costly divorce. He also allegedly paid others to note that his wife was suicidal. Hospital security coverage shows Craig with a syringe while in the hospital. And this is your future episode of Dateline. Wyoming Governor Mark Gordon announced that Cheyenne will host a massive artificial intelligence data center. The kicker is that it will require much more energy, something Wyoming has in abundance, than that used to power every damn home in Wyoming. This is a massive undertaking as more tech companies like Google and Meta have set up large processing centers in the Cheyenne area. The United States Supreme Court stepped in and put a hold on a lower court ruling out of North Dakota. That ruling determined that only the Justice Department can bring suit under Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, while 2 Indian tribes brought the suit originally. Now, here's the thing. The map they are contesting is a state legislative map, managed to elect 3 tribal members to the state legislature, all Democrats, despite their accusations of vote dilution. The Supreme Court will likely take this case eventually. An explosion at a wood pellet manufacturing plant in Nebraska is proving difficult to extinguish, given the heavy smoke and flames. Officials cannot get close enough to find 3 missing people, and the coroner is standing by. This is Ryan Walters, the State Superintendent of Education in Oklahoma. During a meeting with school board authorities, 2 people attending said they saw images of naked women on the television in his office. Authorities have opened an investigation into the matter. Now, before we label him a pervert, Walters has been butting heads with teacher unions, school boards, and superintendents in Oklahoma of late. So let's cool our jets and just wait and see what happens here. Lake Travis, Texas, pesky fire ants have been filmed forming rafts and transporting themselves across rivers and other bodies of water. Apparently, when their homes are washed out by flooding, they resort to this behavior. Fire ants can cause painful stings if they bite you. I mean, even fire ants in Texas are starting to act like illegal aliens. Louisiana Senator John Kennedy, a strong supporter of Trump's immigration policies, was instrumental in gaining the release of Paola Cuarte from ICE detention. The Mexican national is the wife of an American Marine veteran. He secured her release from detention after a deportation order was rescinded by a judge earlier in the week. She illegally entered the country with her mother over a decade ago and was arrested when addressing a green card issue with officials. Come on, ICE, we can do better. Don't give the Democrats any ammunition now. Police in Arkansas have released a sketch of the man they believe is responsible for killing a married couple while they hiked with their daughters, aged 7 and 9, in that state's Devil's Den State Park. The two daughters were uninjured in the attack. The couple had just moved to Arkansas from South Dakota. Missouri officials report that 3 fishermen who went missing on the Mississippi River have been found dead. Authorities are investigating. Another Nightline. Meet Nash Keene, who celebrated his first birthday. He was born a year ago at only 21 weeks of gestation, the youngest premature baby ever born. The young lad from Iowa, hey, Planned Parenthood, here's that clump of cells you tell us about. Now, Minnesota, you voted for them, so you get to keep them. Wisconsin's Democratic Secretary of State Sarah Godlewski announced that she will not run for governor in 2026 after incumbent Democrat Tony Evers announced he will not seek another term. Godlewski said that she is, however, considering a run for the lieutenant governor. Tsunami warnings went out in the Great Lakes region after Illinois governor shifted his weight in bed. And I hate to keep picking on Indiana, but you're just boring. 80 cows found a new home at Michigan State University at a state-of-the-art farm run by the college. The $75 million facility is for agricultural and veterinary students to gain firsthand experience with live, actual cows. The center hopes to move an additional 180 cows to the farm in the near future. Okay, this is college funding that I can agree with. Police have charged 5 people, but arrested only 3 in that connection with that violent street brawl in Cincinnati, Ohio that occurred over the past weekend at a jazz festival. Video of the brawl went viral on social media. For the record, there are numerous videos of the fight online, but did you know that only one person used their damn phone to dial 911? Tennessee has set October 7th as the primary date and December 2nd for a special election to replace Republican Congressman Mark Green, who has retired. Although the 7th district is reliably Republican, it does take in a chunk of Democratic Nashville. 5 medical employees at the Walker County Jail in Alabama have been indicted, bringing to 25 the number of people indicted so far over the death of Tony Mitchell, who was mentally ill. Allegedly, Mitchell shot at police during a welfare check. He died of hypothermia with a temperature of 72 degrees. In good news, a massive sea turtle that weighed over 300 pounds has been released back into the ocean after suffering injuries from a boat strike in Florida. When x-rayed, it was discovered the turtle was full of eggs. Luckily, the turtle recovered fully and will likely give birth now that she is back in the water. Okay, but this next one is just kind of weird. A Pennsylvania couple is suing a Georgia funeral home when their son's remains, supposedly ashes, were delivered to their home. To their surprise, through another funeral home in Pennsylvania. To their surprise, the box started leaking in the trunk of the couple's car, and it was then discovered that the funeral home had apparently made a big mistake when they mailed the kid's brain to them. Left unanswered is why the brain was separate from the other remains. Workers at the Savannah River nuclear site in South Carolina have discovered a wasp nest with 10 times the amount of radiation acceptable. The site used to make nuclear weapons. A worker sprayed the nest but could find no wasp. So that's just great. Nuclear wasps have now already left the area, and they're headed for a location near you. Former North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper announced that he will seek the nod for the Democrats in the open 2026 senatorial race in that state. Republican Tom Tillis announced that he will not run for re-election. Chuck Schumer is salivating at the chance to pick up the seat, although both parties are having recruiting difficulties in other states. A judge in Virginia ordered the removal of 8 public university board members tapped by Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin. The effort was led by 9 Democratic state senators who had rejected the appointments earlier in June. The Virginia Attorney General advised them to remain at their posts despite the disapproval by these Democrats. The state plans to appeal. Judge in West Virginia has ruled that 3 kids in that state can attend school this September without the required vaccinations. The governor is allowing religious exemptions, as the parents contend here, while the state school board told schools to simply ignore the governor. Workers are starting on the final phase of the demolition of the damaged Key Bridge in Baltimore, Maryland. Work continues on a replacement bridge nearby. The bridge was severely damaged when a container ship veered off course and 6 people were killed. And Delaware's lone Congress critter remains just an ugly man. A month-long budget battle in Pennsylvania is starting to show effects as the state announced that payments for education, libraries, and some county health services will see delayed payments from the state. Pennsylvania schools that received $11 million in state aid last year will see, $11 billion in aid last year. We'll see $2 billion in delays through the end of August. So let's get on it and pass a spending plan there in Harrisburg. Trump administration cleared the way for Alina Habba to become acting attorney general for New Jersey. After being nominated, the Senate has not acted on her nomination, and the 120 days expired, and a panel of judges in New Jersey dismissed her. However, now being appointed as acting attorney, she gets an additional 200 days on the job. So sorry, Cory Booker, you lose round 2. This is trucker Joe Mackin of Clifton Park, New York, north of Albany, who had been spending the last 20 years of his life building a model of New York City out of balsa wood and glue, nothing else. The model features over 1 million buildings and even includes parts of Long Island and New Jersey. Somebody, please give this man a job already. Former WWE boss Vince McMahon was charged with reckless driving in Connecticut and causing a 3-car accident that wrecked his Bentley. Oh, poor guy. Police said he was following too close behind another vehicle when the accident occurred. He was released on $500 bond and will appear at court at a later date. In Rhode Island, Senator Sheldon Whitehouse has officially changed his name to Richard Cranium. Francisco Severo Torres of Massachusetts was sentenced to 26 months in jail when he attempted to stab a flight attendant in the neck on a cross-country flight and opened the emergency door on the airliner. Of course, that 26 months in jail is actually time served. Torres allegedly stated that he was actually Dracula, and he has a history of mental illness. Really? And police in Old Orchard Beach, Maine, are claiming that one of their police officers, John Luke Evans, passed a check on his immigration status, although Evans has been arrested. He entered the country legally from Jamaica but overstayed his visit. ICE was tipped off when Evans tried to illegally purchase a gun. And the moral of the story is, if you're an illegal alien who overstayed your visa, don't try to purchase a gun. And that's it. I want to thank you. Have a great day and a more pleasant tomorrow.